Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Set, 280.
Check, 55 to Mike. Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Tight dog, tight.
10. Hey, 70. Omaha, ready to move.
From the 24, Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6.
22.
Check the backer, check the backer.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one good for 24 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Set, 20.
Pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Big ass, big ass, big ass. Shift, shift. Bang, 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 bang.
Alert. Go here.
On second down now, it's Bell, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's now 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction.
Zero. Under crunch, under crunch, under crunch. Check, 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 check. 11.
They'll try the right side with Bell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
Switch! Switch! Hatch it! Hatch it! I got it! I got it!
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hey, roll Mike 40, Mike 40.
From the gun, Mariota. And he's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory.
Let's go.
A big play there on the catch and run. 77 yards.
1st down, Bears.
So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on 1st down. Now they try the right side here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the Lions' 15-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Rush in, rush in. Check, check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Now a handoff looking right. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, 77 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand there. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Motion, check. Shift.
Mariota now. Being chased out left. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
There he goes left side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
And the Bears first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Bears 7.
Where are they, team? Hey, watch the leg. One. Hey, check Mike 21, check Mike 21. It's been a long day for you. Three. Slam.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A gain of 32 that time. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Mariota on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Bears.
Yes. One. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Kill. One. Hey, turn it up. Check 4. Check 99.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down.
Check Mike 21, check Mike 21.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
32. Check 43. Check 24. Hey, 70.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Check. Hey, switch gears. Shoot.
Here's Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Mariota. Going deep downfield for Ross. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Bears have retaken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Watch the run. Watch the run. He's coming. Hey, 50. He's coming. Double up.
To throw again. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Hey. Check 32. Check 13. Check 13. Easy alert.
Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. And an alley to run. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
Check. Where are they, T? 3.
Following the interception here, Mariota looking for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Check out, Reed. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Let's go. Hey.
A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I would say it would probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
49. Check 49. Check.
On 3rd down, Mariota going to throw deep for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out Okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch twist. Watch twist. 22.
Now Bell. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
With a catch made by Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, check. Three. One. Hey, check. Mike 21.
Mariota to throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Stay at home. Sponge. No.
Mariota. Forced out to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Check
52. Check safety, check safety. 53. Ready. Let's go,
Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Play action. Stafford looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Ready? Hang with us. 24.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 9 yards on the pickup there, as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make it.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this 1st half. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something that feels somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
1st down, Bears.
Check back 21. 3. Jim. Check 26. Check 26. One.
Final play of the half here. Mariota. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the 2nd half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked out.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season as the Bears push further out in front. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh, too.
Turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden, because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Big 20. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Shit, shit. Shit. 59. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Going up top. It got his man complete. A big play there for Detroit. And even 40 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
22. Alert. Zero. Bravo. Shit, shit. Bang, 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 bang.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Under crunch, under crunch, under crunch. Double right. Hey. Hold. Hey, 22. Mike, 36. Mike, 30. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Tight down. There you go.
Throwing is Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check, 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 check. Check. Drill right, 22. Switch. Hatchet.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll go deep down the middle. He's got it at the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
That's good for our Lions. First down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Lady. 55. Watch the run. Hey, check 24. Middle. 55 is Mike, guys, 55. Watch the run. Topper. Wide. Hey, 5-0.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
At the 13-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, 70. Omaha, ready to move. Hey.
Now Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brings up 3rd down.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Whip. Watch the whip. SOS. Middle. Check 37. Under 10. 10. Check, check, check.
From the gun, Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Throwing is Mariota. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Mariota again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Check, Mike 21.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
36.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
He's coming. We got double up. Switch. Joker. Check 50. Pick the edge.
Zebra. Alert. Switch. Check 43. Check double right.
24. Check.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Lady.
36.
11. Get
out the field, defense.
Hey. Pilot, 64. Weak.
Shoot. Hey, watch the edge. Watch the edge.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He finds his man Johnson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 1st down, it's Bell. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Bring it. Like 7.
Again, it's Bell. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Check 25. Check 13.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. And this one is right down the middle. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Pwnda84 now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 17-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now they try the right side here. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
It's a gain of 6. And the Bears first down.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
They'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Check the hot read.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep down. And oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check. 55 to Mike. Check. 55 to Mike. Rip left. Rip left. Watch twist. Watch twist. Watch that 50. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hey, alert 3. Run.
And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here.
On the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 42-yard line.
Set. 180. Watch 55. Yeah. You don't want none. Easy alert.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Lions, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they go down to defeat for just the 2nd time in 11 games so far. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.